Welcome
Hi.
to another episode of Anatomy with Abby and Orion.
Hi.
And we're here with our friend Jack Marrow, and we're going to identify the bony structures of the skeletal system today in this episode. Now, we like to take a simple approach to anatomy, so we're going to identify the major parts, right?
Yep.
So when we're born, we have about 350 bones in our body, but several of those bones fuse together, and by the time we're an adult, the human body has about 206 bones. We're not going to name all 206 in this episode. We're just going to go over the major bones of the body.
Which I have learned as well.
Yes, you have. So maybe Orion can help us out by telling us what is the top bone here.
Cranium.
And what's the movable part?
Mandible.
The mandible. And are his teeth bones?
No.
That's right, they're not bones. Do you know what they're made up of?
I forgot it, but...
Enamel and dentine, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to remember that.
It is. So let's move on to our collarbone. What's the technical name for our collarbone?
Clavicle.
That's right, and this is the most commonly fractured bone in the body. Lots of you football players out there know all about fractured collarbones. So for a moment, we're just going to turn him so that you can see the posterior view, and Orion's going to tell us what these are.
Scapula.
That's right, we have two scapula here, and they form the shoulder joint along with the clavicle and the head of the...
Humerus.
Yes, like my shirt. I found this humerus. Ha ha. So let's look at those arm bones a little more closely. We just said we have the humerus, and what else do we have?
The ulna and the radius.
That's right. The ulna is on the pinky side. It's the smaller bone of the lower arm, and the radius is on the thumb side. Now you'll see we have several bones in our hands. We're not going to talk about all those bones in the hands, but the very top portion here, what's closest to our wrist, are known as the... starts with a C.
The carpals.
That's right.
It's hard to remember.
The carpals. And then the midsection of the hand are the...
Metacarpals.
Metacarpals. And our fingers are known as...
Phalange.
Phalanges.
The fingertips.
The fingers are the phalanges. That's right. What about this this bone in the center of our chest? Do you remember what that's called? Well, we have a lot of bones that start with the letter S, so it's hard to remember, but this is the sternum.
Oh, yeah,
and
sternum.
This is where our 12 sets of ribs attach. So those ribs are also bones, and those all attach, almost all attach to the sternum. We do have a couple of floating ribs back here in the back. We just, in the previous video, discovered all the bones of the vertebral column, or our spine. So if you want to know more about that, check out episode 2 when you get a chance. But we're going to finish naming all the bones in this guy. Do you remember what our large hip bones are called, Orion?
There's so many bones in the pelvic bowl. It's hard to...
It's true. There are several bones in this pelvic bowl. So let me help you
I
out.
can't remember.
The big one are called the ilium.
Oh, yeah, ilium.
And we have two. And you can even feel them on your own body. Those big hip bones, that's the ilium.
Right there.
And they come around in the front of the body to form the pubic bone. And then down below are sitting bones. You can sometimes feel those especially
I forgot it.
They're another letter I word, the ischium. Sometimes we mix up those two, but the ischium, those are your...
I think I mixed them up.
Your sitting bones. Okay, and so the hip joint here we see is made up of the head of the... This is the longest bone in the human body right here.
Oh yeah, the femur.
That's right, it's our femur. Very long bone, and the top of it is what makes up the hip joint. And so you'll see where this guy is flexing at his knee joint. Right in front of that knee joint is a floating bone known as the...
Patella.
Yes, the patella.
Which is the kneecap.
The kneecap, that's right. And then our lower leg bones, I'll turn them a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Maybe Orion can tell us what the small lower leg bone is.
I forgot those.
It's the fibula.
The fibula and the tibia.
That's right. The tibia is the shin bone. That's where you really feel it if you get kicked hard.
I kicked in the shin before.
Or those growing pains we get, Osgood Schlatters.
Shin. I got them in like the bottom of my feet.
Yep, that happens typically in your shin bone. So let's look at the bones in the feet. It's real similar to the bones in the hands, only a little bit different name. Right up here at the top, near the ankle, are known as the tarsals. The midsection are the metatarsals. And finally, we also have
phalanges
on our feet as well as in our hands. So those are all the major bones in the body. Feel free to take notes on this or refer back to this if you're studying for general anatomy. Thanks for watching episode 3 with us today. We hope you'll tune in next time.
Bye.